Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be talking again about an employment experience of mine that I had while here at FGCU. So in the spring of 2017, I was hired by Campus Dining. And like the semester before, I had been looking for jobs on campus because I prefer to work on campus. It's easier for travel reasons, so it's closer, and it's just nice to work somewhere that you're already there, so it's just easier on you, right? Well, I got a job for Campus Dining, and I thought it wouldn't be that big of a deal or big of a difference because when I was in high school, I had worked in the cafeteria during my junior and senior year. So I didn't think it was that much of a difference to cross over from a high school to a college. Well, boy was I wrong. So since, my high school, the cafeteria is run by the county, the public schools, it's run by the county. Well, the campus dining is run by a company. I'm not going to say the company name because, they're probably still trying to hire people. And if I put it in here, I'd probably put it in the description or something. And then they'd have, I don't know, someone saying something mean, but people say mean things nowadays. It happens. But anyways, so I applied to work there and they hired me, and right off the bat, I should have known that this was just not gonna work out. I wasn't actually trained before I started working there. I was interviewed, and then the next time I heard from them, I was getting my uniform and I was getting my schedule. No training was done before my actual first day. So then I get there and they just kind of tacked me along with someone else and said, oh, just watch what she's doing and then, to pick up from there. And that's not a terrible way to learn, but I'm me and I feel uncomfortable when I'm not well prepared before I'm put into a situation where I have to do things. So after a couple of days of just shadowing the person that I was put with, I was actually left alone because the person was moved to another part of dining, so she wasn't with me anymore, so I was stuck there alone. And these shifts were incredibly early in the day and they were incredibly long, but I had agreed to take them because I needed the money. So it was like from 6 a.m. or something like that. Yeah, it was 6 a.m. because the dining opened at 7. 6 a.m. till about 1. That's when I was working because after that I would have class. So I didn't get trained properly and I was there for the breakfast rush and the lunch rush, and it was miserable, absolutely miserable. I was standing the whole time, and for everybody who can do those jobs where you're just standing forever, like, you're amazing because I can't do it. I can't. I have to get a chance to sit down or get a break or something because it's hard to just be on your feet for more than an hour consistently. Like, that's crazy. I worked at Sears for an embarrassingly short amount of time and I was on my feet and it was miserable for me, like just terrible. And the shoes that they had us wear for working weren't even uncomfortable shoes. They were pretty comfortable shoes, but it was just hard for me to be standing there the whole time. So the hours were long, and then like the extra stuff they would have us do, like wiping the tables, I didn't mind that much, but like students are really messy. Like they would leave whole trays sometimes of food just sitting on their table. Like, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't know I was a mom now and I'm cleaning up after people. You would think as college students we'd be a little bit neater. Nope, they just left their stuff out and I was like, okay, that's great. And cleaning supplies was always running out. I hated working on Thursdays because that was like right before they would reorder everything that was needed. So it'd be out of cleaning supplies and still be told that we have to go clean, and it's like, okay, but there's no more clean rags. What are we supposed to do? It's like, well, figure it out or get some paper towels. And then I'm kind of like, okay, we go to an eco-friendly school and we are using paper towels on the tables. Wonderful, very wonderful. That was just terrible. And then the one thing that kept me to not quit from the job was the fact that I was working for dining, right? So what they would do is on your break, if you worked a certain amount of hours, they would give you a break and you would get your lunch from them. Like, it would be free, or whatever time your break is at, your food would be free, right? And that was great because I would come in there at 6 in the morning and not have anything. Like, I didn't bring a bar or anything because it was just so early. It was really hard for me to eat. So all I usually had with me was water up until I was done. Because I think I just missed the minimum to have hours to be worked in order to take a break. So I didn't get a break. And I would work right up until I would have to go to class, which I only had about 20 minutes before my class would start. So what I did was, they still allowed us to take our food, but they said, but I would have a carry-out container so that I could get my food and leave. Well, this was all going along, going well, until one day, my boss, who, she wasn't very nice, I'm just saying, and I would say this to her face since she's not my boss anymore, that you are not very nice to your employees. Like, if you're in charge of people, if you're leadership, you need to treat your people who are helping you out, who are making things happen, you need to treat them better. Like, she was just not nice, and I think it was a little fake the way she would treat other people who came in, or how sometimes if she didn't want to do something, she would hide and kind of put it on us, and it was kind of like, okay. But I mean, I heard the story of how she got the job. She was kind of put on the spot, and it wasn't exactly what she was trained for. So I guess that all goes back to like the company itself just not being that great. Anyways, so one day I just got changed out of my clothes to go to class. I had 20 minutes to get to class, and I have my to-go container that I paid for, by the way, because they don't give you those for free. You have to buy them. I paid for my to-go container, and I was getting my food, and then my boss sees me, and she's like, you can't leave with that. And I'm like, what do you mean? I have my to-go. She's like, well, we only provide meals for here. If you're staying here with your meal, then yeah, you can have it for free. But if you're leaving, you need to pay the $9 for the meal. And I was like, but I had already been doing this whole time, because I think it was about 3 months in when this had happened. And then she said that no, you can't do that. So I was super upset because, one, I was hungry, and two, I was going to class after being there all day basically, and I had a dance class now, so I was moving a lot, and it was not good for me to not go eat. And so that from that moment on, I was like, okay, I'm not staying, because the only thing that made me stay was that free meal that helps me right before I go to class, and you basically just took it away. So right there, I started looking for another job. I didn't enjoy it. I hated having to clean up giant messes. I hated that there was never any supplies. I hated that I was never actually properly trained. And the leadership was just not nice to the employees. Like, it was really ridiculous. And I have not eaten there since. The sucky part is, like, the employees, my coworkers that I worked with, they were all great people, super nice, super amazing, and it was like a nice little family, but the leadership, not at all. They were terrible. The 3 bosses that we had, but especially the main one, just wasn't nice. And I can't deal with not nice people, because then I get a little mean, and so what actually led to me quitting, because even though I was looking for another job, I didn't quit from the job in campus dining, was that one day I got sick, and so I couldn't come in, and it took me forever, first of all, to find a number to contact my boss. I don't think I actually even reached her, because she didn't come in quite as early as we did. It took forever to reach her, and then when I did reach her and I told her that I was sick because I think I had a sore throat or something, and I can't be around people's food if I have a sore throat and things like that. Like, there's some things that you just can't stand for. And so that's what I had been doing. I had been working cash register before that, and then she's like, okay, well then get better. So I was out one day. I came back, and she had moved me from my regular time to some other ridiculous time that didn't work. And it's like as if she didn't even pay attention to the schedule that I had given her with my classes and when I'm available. She just put me in some random other late spot, and I know that I can't work well if I have to stay up super late. And she had done that, and I was like, okay, well, you're not really caring for me, so I just kind of, the only thing I did wrong there was I just kind of stopped showing up because they did that to me, and it threw off my whole everything. So I just left and never came back. Semester came and went and ended, and I got an email from the company saying, oh, your profile has been deactivated. And I'm just like, great, deactivated. Like, y'all were terrible anyways. Like, I hated working for you. And other people, and actually I never stepped foot in there until this semester. So that was March, and it is now December. I probably went in there September, and it was really funny because I went in there and one of the ladies was like, oh, when are you coming back? And I was like, I don't work here anymore. So that was really awkward and weird, but whatever. And I haven't seen my ex-boss since. But yeah, it was just not great. It's a millennial thing, I think, that we're not gonna work for things that we don't enjoy. We're not gonna do something that makes us miserable. Not for long, at least, because I was miserable from the beginning, but I didn't quit that job until well in, even though from the beginning I felt uneasy about it. And I really wish I had just quit more formally. And whenever people ask me about working for campus dining, I always tell them that I didn't enjoy it, but they might enjoy it, because there were different things to do in campus dining, and there's different places to work in campus dining. I just personally didn't enjoy where I was, and I didn't get along well with my boss. I did love everybody that I was working with. They were great, but that's definitely something that I would 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Just, I'll leave it at that. So yeah, but that was my little weird, the time I worked for campus dining at my school. Yeah, I just felt like sharing some employment stuff, because, you know, that's something that you really have to consider when you're in college. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!